Hi, Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we will learn about how depression and anxiety will lead to cause arteriosclerosis. Basically, what is the arteriosclerosis and arteriosclerosis? Are blood vascular disease due to the anxiety and depression. How it is possible? First of all, we will understand about the vascular disease. It means the arteriosclerosis is the hardening of the blood vessel, while the arteriosclerosis is the plaque building in the artery due to some reason, due to the changes of the physiology. So remember that things. And in this way, the damage of the artery will lead to cause and arteriosclerosis. Basically, the depression and anxiety more affect the coronary artery mostly and lead to cause coronary artery disease like arteriosclerosis and atherosclerosis. On the other hand, also damage the heart tissue. How it is possible? Let's understand about quick and very briefly. So remember that when you will depress, you will activate the sympathetic nervous system rather than the parasympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system will lead to rest and digest when you sleep, when you rest, while the sympathetic nervous system will lead to activate the fight and flight response, alertness, more thinking, more confusion, and more irritability and weakness, and basically a more and more alert. In this way, sleeplessness will occur, insomnia, and a lot more things. So remember that thing, when you will increase the cortisol hormone due to the stress stimulus. Stress stimulus is external or internal, but mostly we are just understanding about the external stress stimulus, which that will lead to alter the normal physiology of our body. So remember, whenever the sympathetic nervous system activate due to the stress, and the stress response is the sympathetic nervous system activation, will lead to stimulate and rise the cortisol hormone and adrenaline. So basically, this hormone will lead to increase the glucose level. When glucose level will be rise, in this way the blood circulatory system contain more glucose level as compared to the normal level. So in this way, the increase of the glucose level will uptake more glucose into the artery, the epithelial cell. This is known as endothelial cell, basically is of the artery. So endothelial cell not require the insulin receptor. In this way, the glucose will directly move into the endothelial cell of the artery due to the GLUT channel. So the GLUT channel open and allowed extra glucose move into the endothelial cell. When move into the endothelial cell to produce more and more ATP, while the more excessive ATP and excessive glucose catabolism will produce, and in this way the mitochondria will work more, and in this way the reactive oxygen species and the nitric oxide and nitric oxides, reactive oxygen species, nitrogen containing reactive oxygen species, which that will damage the endothelial cell. Whenever the damage of the endothelial cell due to the excessive glucose level in your blood, which that will lead to damage the endothelial. In this way, the endothelial cell basically the between the endothelial cell, that is the gap, and that gap, whenever the endothelial cell will damage, will allow to lipoprotein, the low density lipoprotein, allow to move into the tunica media. When going to the tunica media of the artery, in this way the building of the low density lipoprotein increase. When increase the low density lipoprotein will lead to inflammation, and that inflammation will produce the cytokines, and cell itself produce the cytokines. And on the other hand, the cytokines basically recruit the monocyte, and the monocyte will become a macrophage, and that macrophage engulf the lipoprotein, the low density lipoprotein. In this way, the low density lipoprotein, due to the uptake, due to the more glucose level, basically is damaging that endothelial cell, and in this way the uptake of the more LDL will lead to foam cell formation, and ultimately that macrophage will lead to damage. Macrophage basically complete their life after the targeting, and in this way the death of the macrophage will release more LDL, while that LDL will deposit into the tunica media of the artery, and in this way the death of the macrophage is known as the apoptosis and necrosis. So basically the necrosis because the cell injury, and in this way the apoptotic and necrotic cell death will lead to deposit the more and more LDL, and again recruit more monocyte, and in this way the monocyte will recruit more, and more recruitment of the monocyte will lead to more LDL deposition, and that LDL will lead to inflame the artery and swelling of the artery in the tunica media, and in this way ultimately the basically the plaque formation will occur. This plaque formation will impede the blood circulation, and whenever the blood will flow very difficult blood flow will lead to cause angina, and that pain where the artery will damage, and in this way the basically heart disease, if we will possible in the coronary artery inflammation, will lead to ultimately rupture that plaque endothelium, because the layer of the endothelium will, due to the growth factors will stimulate the growth of the upper endothelial scar tissue formation, and that will lead to basically rupture whenever due to the more blood flow, and that blood will impede, and that clotting factor will activate, will lead to blood clot, and in this way the more blood pressure will increase, lead to rupture of that block, and will inhibit the blood flow, will lead to tissue damage where the basically supply of the blood will impossible, and that will lead to cause heart attack, and basically it can be minor or major. So the heart attack on the basis of the region of the damaging of the artery. So that is why the stress is the important things which that will be physical, and the basically is the physiological. For example, the physical will lead to physiological stress due to the inflammation and lead to cause more stress, and in this way the more angina will lead to positive feedback. In this way lead to more blood circulation, more blood flow, blood pressure, hypertension will occur due to the more stimulation of the blood flow, because blood is not moving on, and that is why the basically the artery will damage due to the stress. So I hope you make sense about that. If you like my video, please make sure to subscribe, like and share, and I hope you have the concept about the stress and anxiety and depression will lead to cause heart disease and the heart weakness. On the other hand, the myocarditis, epicarditis also possible due to the stress, because the glucose level will be more, will uptake more glucose without using the insulin, and in this way the arteriosclerosis, also the hardening of the blood vessel possible. On the other hand, the arteriosclerosis can be possible. I hope you make sense. If you like my video, please make sure to subscribe, like and share. See you in the next video. For this time, bye.